Even people with high incomes are living paycheck to paycheck because they're not checking their habits and their mindset.
Just because you have some debt doesn't mean that that's the thing you should be attacking. Maybe you should be attacking your cash flow.
Generational wealth is about like the mindset that gets changed in each generation.
We need to go back to the drawing board to teach people how to earn money.
No matter how much money you're earning, it's all gonna fly down the drain because you've really never mastered how to create habits.
If you don't have new conversations, you'll never open up doors to opportunities that are out there for you to make new money. What's up, y'all?
What's up? Good morning.
Hey, hey, hey.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Monday. It's Monday's a holiday. It's a holiday today for some.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Are you celebrating?
I mean, of course, it's a holiday for everybody, but some people celebrate and take work off. Some people don't.
No, yeah, some people have work. Some people don't have work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, happy MLK Day if you don't have work. If there's nothing happening right now for you. Good to have another day off. Welcome to another Money Mondays with the Mouzons. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. It's like almost 3 weeks into the new year. like the first.
It's about to be February.
Yeah, it really is. Like I literally have things on my calendar for February. Like I've been scheduling things out February.
Yeah.
Someone just asked me for something on February 1st. I was like, man, February's coming up. I gotta like actually look at the calendar. So either way, welcome back. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, the reason we do this every Monday, for the most part at least, every Monday, is to
this thing gets me all mixed up. Are we pushing that way? Are we pushing the
because
opposite thing? Is really weird.
You'll get it one day. You'll get it. But yeah, again, the reason we do this every Monday is to open up, give you guys a little opportunity to talk money on a very, very basic level.
Yes.
Because again, most people are not at the 303 level of finance. Some of you are, most of you aren't. And so we want to be a resource for people that just need a little guidance, need a little conversation, talk about money. Again, you guys know when we have these conversations, we're talking specifically about like basic things, right? Like how your money. Lost my train of thought.
How we earn money.
Yeah, how money comes in, how money goes out, right? Saving money. So we're going to talk about today: debt, insurance, protection, right? Long-term care. I really think you should go into long-term care this year. You really need to like study it up and like push it out because there's so many people that need it that don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And like it's a real open space.
Yeah.
Especially as more people get sick and more people need long-term care, right? Nursing home, nursing facilities, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a webinar on it.
Yeah. You. Not we, you.
Me.
You can do a webinar on it. And again, those types of things, protection, retirement. I know people have the conversations around their 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, those types of things. And you think you know, but you don't sit down with a professional. Do you really know? Right? Do you really know that you're doing
sometimes we don't know what we don't know.
That's right. Lots of times.
Lots of times, yes.
We don't know what we don't know.
And especially in the financial industry, yeah. We're not, a professional ourselves, and there's a lot we don't know. Then we know just the basic. And even the basic is like what we've learned in school, which most people say is nothing. What we learned in college, which most people say is nothing. What we learned from our parents, which a lot of times is, the masses, statistics will tell you what we learned from that. So it's always good to talk to a professional to know what you don't know.
Right.
To get good at what you don't know.
It's TikTok and Facebook are not good, credible sources for how to fix your financial life, even though we're coming to you on Facebook and YouTube, right? Like,
this
why?
Because I just cannot. It's so weird. Is there a way to switch the mirroring so it's accurate? It's what we really are. I don't feel like I'm being duped, and because I don't know which side to touch to fix my hair. That's the part. That's the way.
Just get used to it.
All right.
Just get used to it. Anyways, so yeah, lots of conversations, and then again, we want to be a resource for you guys. so that you don't have to just say, let me do this myself and go to TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and, oh, I heard this about money, so maybe I should do that. Or I heard this about money, so maybe I should do that.
Right.
That doesn't get you to the place that you need to go. You can pick up some information, but if it doesn't apply to you and your situation, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. So that's why we try to make it as basic as possible for you, as simple as possible, because most people just need some basic things. Some basic things. And today we're going to talk about this conversation of, do you have an emergency fund?
That's a big one.
All right. Do you have an emergency fund? Many people want to have the conversation about investing. It's probably like the number one conversation, most likely because that's what's happening in the market. Right? That's what's happening on social media and in society. Everyone wants to just talk about investments, investing in this, and I don't know, should I invest in this, and what stock should I have, and how those conversations. But here's something that we teach all the time on our side is
don't skip levels.
That's right. Can't skip levels. In order to have an investing habit, you have to have a savings habit first. Right? In order to have an investing habit, you have to have a savings habit first. And so if you can't figure out how to save money and not touch it, eventually you will touch your investments. And the goal of investing is to not touch the investments so that they compound and they continue to grow. Midterm investments, don't touch them for 3 to 10 years. Long-term investments, retirement, don't touch it for 15, 20, 25 years. If you struggle to just touch your savings every 2, 3, 4 months, what's the likelihood you're going to actually be able to not touch your investments for 20 years? Right? And again, we watch it happen. We don't talk about it all the time in this way, but we watch it happen. Most people, I gotta probably chat GPT this, but the statistic says that 80-something, 90% of people touch their retirement when they leave jobs. Right? So let's say you have a 401k that you've been putting money into at your job, and you then 8 years later quit that job. A large percentage of people, 80 plus, 90 plus % of people use that money. They liquidate their retirement.
They take that 16 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever it is, and they are like, oh, I can use this now. What can I use it on? Let me take the hit. Let me take the penalty because they're not 59 and a half yet. That's boom, 10%. Take the taxes hit and then use whatever I have. But then what ends up happening is now the next job or the next 401k or 403b, you're starting from scratch now again. Instead of moving that money over, not touching it, keeping that habit of not touching your investments and moving it into the next whatever type of account that they're going to move into.
Ideal. The reason why people don't do that and can't do that is because they don't have money saved. That's the problem. People would do that naturally. But when you leave your job because you got fired or didn't have another job lined up or whatever.
In those cases, you need that money.
Then all of a sudden you're like, I don't have an emergency. I don't have any money. So I need to liquidate my investment that was supposed to be for retirement that was going to compound for years and years.
Support me until I
get another job. And then you start the process again. And then 12 years later, you quit that job and then you didn't have an emergency fund. So then you have to liquidate your retirement again. And that's not the purpose.
Or you got laid off.
Right. That's normally what happens, right? You get laid off.
Sometimes, hopefully when people are quitting their job, they already have another job lined up. You would hope.
Hopefully, but in this day and age, I'm going to talk about this on BizBuzz. Just we're going through this thing called the Great Millennial Crisis, where all the millennials, there's a large percentage of millennials that want to switch completely their careers. The first 20 years of their work life, they're not happy with. They're at a place where they're like, I'm burnt out. I don't like what I do. And it's happening to a lot of people. There's a stat that said 400,000 women left corporate America in 2025. A large percentage because they're just we're tired of this way that we're moving. We need to do something different. But then they don't have lined up. And nothing to do because they don't know what's next. They don't know. They don't want to go to this or they don't
want to go back to school.
Yeah, they don't know what to do. So People are liquidating their retirements, right? But it's because you didn't have a proper emergency fund. So what's a proper emergency fund? 3 to 6 months of your income set aside that you label emergency, that you put in a high yield savings account that's gaining you 3 to 4 to 5% interest fixed. That's a proper emergency fund.
Yeah.
Proper emergency fund. Do you have that?
Right.
Do you have 3 to 6 months of your income, not your expenses? See, some people say it, and again, there's all different types of talks out there.
Right.
But ideally, your expenses,
because it's your lifestyle,
right?
And your lifestyle isn't just your bills. Exactly. Your lifestyle is all the miscellaneous, the things your coffee, your Target, your Walmart, your Amazon, your, extra dish soap that you need, groceries, all the things that include the lifestyle, which is the income, not just the bills.
That's right. So that's why if you have 3 to 6 months of your income, you literally have 3 to 6 months of your lifestyle without working. So you don't have to touch your investments that are compounding and growing interest that are for 15, 20 years down the line, because you actually have an emergency fund. You have something that says, hey, if I lose my job, if I quit my job, if I don't work, I can still live, not just pay. Because again, think about it. If you just pay your bills, if you just have enough for your expenses, it's not going to last you 3 months.
Exactly.
6 months,
I was going to say, you're going to eat that up with your lifestyle.
With your lifestyle, because you still need to eat and you still want to do things, right? All that stuff. So that's only going to last you. If you have 3 months of expenses, it's going to last you a month and a half, because that's not your lifestyle.
Right.
If you get to 3 to 6 months worth of your income set aside, labeled emergency, not for a trip, not for your house, not a down payment on a car.
Right.
That's not an emergency, like an actual emergency fund.
Yeah.
That
emergency meaning you're not going to have income for the next said months.
Right.
That's like the emergency, where you're not going to bring in any income for however many months.
That's right, because that's it, and that's a good point, Dave, because like some people think an emergency is like the leak in their house. Like,
right. That's not an
emergency.
You're
like
needing
that is
4 new tires. It's not an emergency.
That's wear and tear. These are things that will happen. An emergency is, oh my gosh, I got in a car accident. I only have 3 months worth of disability at my job. I can't go back to work because I'm being rehabbed for 7 months. What do I do?
Yeah.
Right. That's the emergency fund.
Yeah.
You get laid off unexpectedly. Something that like that's what it's for. And in our experience, dealing with tons and tons of people, coaching them down this path, most people don't value their emergency fund in that way. We rather invest. We rather be like, oh, let's just invest. And I get it. The mindset of like, oh, you can't save yourself to wealth. You got to invest. It's true. It's true. But that's a 303.
But you can't skip steps
exactly
before you get there. That's the thing. People think, oh, that's the key, so let me go do that. No, the key is that, but the steps in between there are prerequisites before you're able to go do that successfully.
That's right. That's right. And
successfully, which is like having a strong foundation. And that's what we're really talking about here is foundation. You can't go build on a 303 level and invest on a 303 level when you haven't built a strong foundation. So when you are investing and you got that money tied up somewhere and you get laid off, you don't have to go dip into that money that you worked hard to invest in. You have that emergency fund. You have that foundation that's strong, that's going to withstand whatever is going on, so that you can maintain those investments.
Yep. So you can keep your rental property, so you can keep the 401k. Like that's the goal. It's like you don't sell off your investments. You blow through savings way before you go to the investment. The investment should be the last piece.
Yeah, the investments is like the bonus. It's the, now you have some wiggle room. You have some wiggle room to invest, because that's what investment is. It's a risk and it's wiggle room. So if you're not building a strong foundation, there is no wiggle room. You are risky business.
Yeah.
You're building a house on no strong foundation, no strong columns.
That's right. So again, this is the benefit of an emergency fund. Again, most people don't get to building wealth because it's slow and boring. It might, guys, in all honesty, it might take you 3 years to build a proper emergency fund.
Right.
Like it literally, like according to your lifestyle, how much income you're making, what your expenses are, the random doodads that pop up. Like it might take you 2, 3, 4 years to get $50,000 in a savings account, $75,000 in a savings account. But the best part is once you have that, you can stop saving because you've built the habit of it. Now you can move on to investing. Now you're at the next level. Now you taught yourself, hey, I know over the past 4 years, I've put money into a savings account, never needed to touch it. Here and then this thing happened, okay, but then we built it right back up and it's been good. And now we've been able to maintain $50, $60, $70, $80,000 in a savings account. Cool. Now, all of your monies, all of your energy can go to midterm and long-term investments because now you don't have to touch that because you have 70,000, 60,000, 50,000 set aside that if something happened, you're good. It's okay. You can grab from that. You don't have to worry about your investments.
Right.
Most people don't play the game that way.
Most people are just investing in whatever their job is offering them. And we're talking people like corporate America people, whatever your job is offering you, you're automatically investing in that because a portion of it is coming from, your check. And then beyond that, it's like their day-to-day savings. Maybe I'll put some money aside in my savings, here and there. And that's pretty much it. So it's takes the extra like willpower and budget and like strategy. We like to call it strategy because that's what we're doing. We're strategizing with people to create proper portfolio, proper foundation. It takes all of that to be like, no, I'm not just going to have them take this money from my paycheck for my 401k. I'm also going to do my own savings, towards this emergency fund. So it takes like actively doing it outside of your normal long-term savings that your job is offering you.
And depending on what level you're at, because again, it's hard to always give blanket financial information. Depending on what your level at, we've talked to people, good, bad, and different, like however you think about this, it might not make sense to be saving in your 401k right now. If you're putting away 4%, 5%, and you got $60 a month, $60 a paycheck, $120 a month, but you got no emergency fund, you can't kick that $60 a paycheck, $120 down the road so far because you haven't built the habit of saving. It's probably better that you say, hey, right now, and again, it's tough to give blanket financial information, but for some people, you're in your mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, and you don't have emergency fund, but you're trying to put away $150 a month, $200 a month in your 401k. You need to lower that back to zero, and you need to go put that in a savings and learn how to save money. And then come back to the position where you can put away $500, $700, $1,000 a month long term because you have savings. Right? Like, again, every bit of financial information we get is not good for us. At your level, like you have to build your foundation. You can't just kind of blanketly be like, well, they gave me a 401k, so I'm going to put money into it. But then you're in $30,000 of debt, $25,000 of debt, no savings. Why are you investing for your 25 years when your immediate is not good? Right? Because it's not possible for you to keep that money. And we run into these issues over and over again. So that's why we have to teach. We have to educate you. Like, depending on your level, this is why we do this one-on-one with people. Right? The classes and things are great, but they don't really impact because it's just blanket financial information that might not apply to you. So when you meet with us one-on-one and we sit down and have this conversation, we're like, hey, if you need savings and you're in debt, you shouldn't be putting that little $65 a paycheck into your 401k. You shouldn't be putting that $110 into your 401k. Like, you probably need to save it. You probably need to attack some debt. And then we need to focus on cash flow and making some more money and keeping more of what's coming in. And then we'll get back to investing. Once you build a habit of saving, we'll get back to investing. For a minute, because it's on my mind, let me talk about the other side of that. Because we work with some people that have built the habit of saving, but now don't invest properly. Right? I think of a few people specifically, but like, when you have a couple $100,000 sitting in the bank, you're wasting money. Now you can't save your way to wealth. having $200,000 in the bank, in a banking institution, you're losing money. All you need is your emergency fund, whatever makes you comfortable. If you're really good, 6 to 12 months worth of your income. We say starting 3 to 6 months. We say starting 3 to 6 months. But if you really need more comfort, more cushion for yourself, then it's 6 to 12 months. But you shouldn't have more than a year's worth of your income in a savings account, like in any bank institution. All the rest of that money needs to start investing. Like that's how you grow wealth. Right. So that's the other side of it. Like there will come a point in time where if you do this right, you stop saving money. You can't save your way to wealth. You need to stop saving, and everything needs to go to investing. But that might not be your level right now. You might be at the level of, I need to start saving and I'm not investing right now. I just need to save. That's why this emergency fund conversation is incredibly important. Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have a way to be able, do you have a habit in place of paying yourself first, putting money aside every single time you get paid? Not in your 401k, your IRA, some investment. If you don't have 3 to 6 months worth of your income, or you're not close to that, that's where your energy and focus should be going. And again, that's foundational stuff. It's not the stuff you're going to hear on the internet all the time about like, you need to be investing in this and invest in this. We sat down with tons and tons of people that you shouldn't be investing, actually. You should be saving and paying off debt and working on your cash flow. And then we'll get to investing, because the goal of investing is to keep investing. If you have to touch it in 3 years, it's not investing. Not investing. So make sure you guys take that in. As a relationship, you wouldn't believe this is a good one. It says, as a relationship banker, you wouldn't believe the amount of money people have sitting in their checking account earning nothing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know.
Believe you. Like I said, I know the other side of this. We sit down with people all the time. Like I know the other side of people, because they built the habit of saving. They're good on their cash flow, but they don't know how to invest. They don't know how to, put their money in the right places. So again, we know both sides of it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely. It's super important. I mean, and if that money is sitting, in a bank, let it be a high yield savings account. And I hope that is an emergency fund that's sitting there for them, And again, every family is different. Every situation is different. So that person's emergency fund is going to look like a different number than somebody else's emergency fund. A stop point is going to be different for each family, for each portfolio.
Yep. But again, it's all according to the level you're at. Don't take blanket financial information. Don't even take it from us. Right? But sit down with someone. Sit down with us one-on-one. Let's have a conversation. We're here to strategize with you, like you said, right?
And honestly, emergency fund creates such a sense of like stability, certainty. It allows for more option and opportunity to take more risks. Let's say somebody does get laid off and they had an emergency fund and they're like, you know what, I think I'm good for the next like 3 or 4, maybe 5 months. I'm going to work on my business idea. I think I've always wanted to get into entrepreneurship. Now that I've been laid off, this doesn't feel good. Maybe this is a time now. I have 3 or 4, 5 months of savings, of income, lifestyle. So I have more wiggle room to now maybe, make my own business happen. So it creates so many more options, opportunity, feeling of certainty, confidence, when it comes to your money, less stress. All things lead to positive when you have a proper emergency fund that you can rely on. It really does open so much more pathways.
That's right. So we drilled that home for you. You need an emergency fund. Before you go invest, you need an emergency fund. Here's a couple practical things to think about, though. If we've convinced you that you need an emergency fund, and you're like, okay, guys, like I'm gonna go get this emergency fund, Mouzons, right? I'm gonna go do this. How do I do it? How do I do it? Okay, so number one, pay yourself first. Okay, so the reason why people like retirement savings is because they say it's like out of sight, out of mind. Like
Right.
it just comes out of my check.
Mhm.
Again, you haven't built anything. They're just kind of taking it from you.
Right.
Your ability to like control it and own the fact that like I saw this money and then
Yes.
I saved
Because
this
they
money.
created that habit
Right.
for themselves, for
Exactly.
you.
It's not a habit for you.
You
It's
did not
taken.
create that habit, right?
It's not a habit for you because you just allow them to take it.
Right. Because
Right.
if that money wasn't back in your check, it'd be gone.
That's what you believe, right?
Right.
Because you
Would
haven't
you
built
still
the
be
habit.
saving it? Yeah.
You wouldn't. And that's why people, and this is the argument too. We've come across with people when they're like, "Well, that's just easy because it's out of sight, out of mind."
Right.
But that's why you can't save,
Mhm.
and that's why if you leave your job, you're going to use that money because you haven't created anything.
Right.
They created that system for you by just taking money out of your check.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like we're coming up on tax time. I was just explaining this to somebody, right, about the difference between being on the W-2 and the 1099, and like the fact that like you just let them take taxes from you. That's why they give you a refund.
Right.
It's because you just let them take it all year. You have no control over it, and so you get some money back. When you're on the other side, we're actively planning how to pay less in taxes because we control it. It's a habit that we built financially.
Right.
Same thing in savings. Your 401k, your automatic, let me just put it over there, didn't really necessarily build a habit for you.
Right.
Okay. So number one, right? Number one, you want to make sure that you're paying yourself first. So money comes in, you need to take a small amount, you need to put it into a high yield savings account. Like you need to practice that. You saw your check hit, instead of being like, oh, I got all of it's going to go to this mortgage, all of it's going to go to the bills. No. I worked hard for me. Let's pull this, and then let's move it over here. Right? That at the end of the day, that is something that you should be practicing over and over again. If that's a struggle, then we got to look at cash flow. You got to look at what's coming in and what's going out, right?
Eileen had a good question.
Yeah. Said, how do we feel about home equity loans as your emergency fund? How do you feel about it?
My
thought about it?
instinct would be no, because it's not yours, and again, it doesn't create that habit, and then it also equals debt. So my most professional opinion would be no. I think in some instances it could be, a way of maneuvering, especially if you got income still coming in or you have other options. But my professional, answer would be no. But again, it's hard to give that blanket advice for everyone because there could be instances where something like that could work. But again, it doesn't create the habit of that savings, and then that money isn't truly liquid without anything attached to it, without any liability attached to it.
Sure. Yes. Similarly, again, everybody's situation is different, but just in the nature of it, home equity is a loan. It's debt. Savings is not. It's cash. Now, yes, you have access to that. My question is always, well, if we're really in an emergency, then how do we pay that back? All right, like how do we, once we go into the debt side of things, how do we then pay it back?
Right.
Ideally, right, good debt is you take out debt to make more money. So now the asset that we had, which was the house, now we're jeopardizing that because we have an emergency. So how do we pay that back and get right with our asset? That becomes the challenge. So a lot of people say that, right, and it makes sense because there's money there. You can tap into that, fine. But should we rely on that as an emergency fund? Probably not, because now it's affecting our investments.
Yes.
Right? It's affecting the equity in your house. It's affecting, the interest that you're paying back. Like it's affecting the investment side of things. So it's not savings. It can get you out of an emergency, potentially.
Or on the flip side, it can get you into more opportunity. Some people can take a, home equity loan and be like, I'm going to go, take a little bit of debt from here, smaller debt, because, they can get a good rate on that, and then go put it into an investment of another, like a house or another business.
That's good debt.
And then, you're using it, you're going to pay it off because that new opportunity is going to give that back. So you're kind of leveraging your own debt in the way that you can. But I would say if it was an emergency, that's probably not the way I would go because, again, you're risking more asset and more stuff. So
that's the proper way to use debt.
yes,
You
I
use
would, yeah,
debt
exactly.
to make more money. Like that's good debt.
As long as you know, you're able to pay that back and you have a strategy and you have a plan in place for that. You've projected the numbers, you've projected the budget, you have some wiggle room somewhere else. God forbid that falls through. There's like so many things to be looking at, but I would say, yeah, I wouldn't usually do it as far as an emergency.
It can get you out of a
good
pinch.
question, because a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people do that, especially being in banking. You've probably seen it all over the place. It's a second thing people do outside of, let me take from my long-term investments, let me liquidate this. The next thing is like, okay, now I don't got that beyond credit card debt. It's, let me take a loan on my house.
That's right. I mean, we appreciate you and the question.
Yes.
Right? This is why we do this, so
great.
that we can get the questions. And again,
because I'm sure so many other people are thinking and have gone through or will go through exactly that.
Yeah. People think about it all the time, right? And so again, this is why we talk about it. It's because where else do we get this resource? And again, we try not to give blanket financial information.
Right. But it's good conversation to be had.
It's good conversation to start, right?
Absolutely.
Dive in. Yeah. So good stuff, y'all. Again, the question for today was, do you have an emergency fund? And how do you build an emergency fund? So again, pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Money hits your account. You take a small amount. You put it aside for you and your high yield savings. If that is a struggle, again, because I know I hear you in the comments already, people, right? In the comments, like, I don't have enough to save, right? The price of this is high and inflation. I get it. And small amount, $25, $40, $50 out of a check. We all waste If you have a job, if you have income coming in, I promise you, we all waste $20 every 2, $10 a week. Absolutely. On the lowest level. Right. On the lowest level,
because if you don't pay yourself first, everything will have its share except you. Even Starbucks, even Dunkin' Donuts, even Amazon, because the miscellaneous, the small leaks in the ship are bound to happen. So let those things happen after you've paid yourself first, because they're going to happen regardless. I don't think I know a family, unless they're like extremely broke. I mean, you're broke. You got nothing. That is not going to go out and have coffee or Starbucks or buy something from Amazon or go to Walmart or do something extra that month. So let yourself be paid first, and then those inevitable leaks are bound to happen. Let them happen after the fact. If you don't pay yourself first, again, those leaks are bound to happen, and then you will not have anything. So that's really the idea of it. It's to get yourself out of the way, pay yourself first, prioritize yourself over the bills, over the mortgage, over everything, and over, of course, especially the miscellaneous things.
And it doesn't have to be a lot. Again, don't feel guilty.
Start small.
Yeah, don't feel guilty like, I haven't saved in years and I'm trying to get to this thing, so let me save $500 this month. Your budget, that's not your habit. Right. You're going to touch that money, and now you've built a reverse habit, a negative habit of saving and touching. Yeah. That's not what we want. That's why we say small amount just to start. Can you consistently save $25 a paycheck for 10 paychecks in a row and not touch your savings? That's a challenge for you. $50 a paycheck without touching. Don't raise it. Like, just simple amount. Yep. And do it consistently. Then once you prove that you've done that for 10 paychecks in a row,
think about raising it. Yep.
Then up it. Like, okay, I did $50 a paycheck. I could do 100. And then practice that for 10 paychecks in a row. Yeah. And then if you ever feel like you need, then you have a cash flow issue, or you're saving too much. So,
and the majority of the time, it's the cash flow issue.
Sure.
That's why that's something we always end up coming back to. Is majority of the time it is a cash flow issue. If we feel like there is no room already, then you need to make more money.
Yeah. You didn't jump on late, and we didn't talk about that. I mean, we did not talk about how much of your income you should save. Again, yes. From our standpoint, this is something I love having the conversation about, because I think that's blanket financial information, and it doesn't serve everybody. Yeah. Right. I just sat down with a young man in his early 30s that we're starting to save 5% of his income. Now, the traditional, 20% needs to go there. Like, most people don't know how to. So this becomes according to your income and according to your needs, according to what you can
your habits. your mindset right now around money, like every situation is very different. Because then if we tell that person you need to be saving 10% every month, and they can't, they broke the habit. Then they start creating that that opposite
now they gotta
habit.
touch it. Now they go down to zero. Now they forget like, oh, this wasn't like a hard fast, like I have to do this. That's why we rather give you the goal of the 3 to 6 months of your income as an emergency fund goal. So you know how much you make. You make $5,000 a month, and that means you need anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 set aside. So however you can get there, we don't know your expenses.
We've got to, and that's why the number one thing we start with people is tracking, because most people don't know how much they can save if they haven't been doing so on their own already anyway, and they're just been relying on whatever comes from my paycheck goes. Most people haven't created that habit, or they do it once in a while, like they'll save every other month or whatever it is. But if people don't have an actual budget already in place or tracking already in place, then we don't really know yet what their habits are. We have to first get like a snapshot of like, hey, let's look at the past 2-3 months. Let's see what's been happening, what's going in, what's coming out, and everywhere. Then we can see, here are the patterns. This is your lifestyle. And then we can forecast a proper budget, and then we can forecast how much they could potentially be saving every month comfortably without breaking the habit.
That's right. It's all about habits, and everybody's a little bit different. So I love that question.
Yeah.
It's a very common question, but it's different for every single person.
Yes.
Whatever your income and expenses are, right? Whatever your debt is, if you have more debts to pay off, that means you should probably save a little bit less than the next person that doesn't have debt.
But you should still be saving.
Right. Like I said, a little bit less. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But like, you still should
Some
be
people
saving.
think, if I have debt, I can't save at all. It all has to go to my debt, which is also a theory of not paying yourself first. Exactly. You should always pay yourself first, regardless of how much debt you have. Yeah. You don't break that habit because you have debt. You could shrink it, like you said. You just bring it down, a little bit. But you keep building that muscle. Yeah. Otherwise, that muscle deteriorates, and you have to rebuild it back up again. Yeah, it's kind of like the gym. Yeah.
Because again, ballpark, we just want you to get to your emergency fund number. That's 6 months of your income set aside. You don't want to tell you, hey, you should be saving 25% of your money, and then in month 3 you're like, I can't save 25. Matter of fact, I need some of that, and then you start touching it. Now you're building a negative habit of touching your savings. So we'd rather just start you small and let you build the habit of it. But again, great question.
Yeah.
This is why we talk about this stuff, y'all. Yeah. It's because we all got questions about it. Yeah. And we want to be able to help. We want to be able to support. So I got to jump off because we got to get ready to rock and roll. Yep. Every Monday, as long as she wants to be here, we're going to be here. So we're locked in, guys, every Monday. Money Mondays with the Mouzons.
That's right. Where's Nina?
I don't know.
Bum bum. She's like, I'm not trying to get back to that man.
She's not.
She got
either way. Well, anyway.
Bum bum, you want to say bye?
Okay, she doesn't want to. Anyway, we're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna sign off. Absolutely.
Thank you for having the conversation with us, Tylene.
We appreciate
that. We
appreciate all you guys.
Jump on with us again next week if you can.
Jump on next week, and we'll see you guys soon. All right.
See ya.
Peace. Take care.